Hello, good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, everyone. It is I, your hopefully still regularly streaming Chungus, also known as Darth Mechas, and with me today is my special guest narrator. Say hi, special guest narrator.
Hi, special guest narrator.
God dang it, I love
Hey,
it.
I'm a dad now.
Um,
I get to make these jokes.
I suppose I'll give you the pass. We are continuing our Warhammer or Warcraft history.
Yeah, don't cross
Uh,
that line. That's fan war territory.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I am not in the mood to have my house decorated with hung horse heads. We're not going to do that. Zealotjohn, would you mind telling us where we left off yesterday?
We left off right at the start of the Encourage War in vanilla Warcraft.
Perfect. Perfect. I was not going to get that name right no matter what I did. Real quick, guys, if you can, Zealotjohn, I don't know if you're watching my chat. If you would be kind enough to post your Twitch in the chat at some point, I would appreciate that. You don't need to do that right now. Just sometime later, because for whatever reason, my shout out mechanic isn't working, so I got to get that tweaked still, and I haven't gotten around to it.
Okay.
Because you're taking this time to do what for me, my guy?
I'm making this slideshow so we can actually go through the lore more appropriately with proper visuals. At least
Excellent.
somewhat proper visuals.
And guys, he's taking time out of his own streaming to do this for me. So please, when he does post his Twitch chat or his Twitch link, please go give him a follow. Please give him some love and support. I know for a fact he's an awesome streamer, and he's taking time to help me with this. So without further ado, let's file. Where's the view? The view. Let's get started, shall we?
Hold on, I'm almost done posting it here.
No problem.
Here.
No problem.
There we go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And like I said, guys, be sure to give him a follow. But without further ado, let's get on with it here. So, the Encourage War.
Yep. So we're gonna go back in time for a moment because a lot of this backstory stuff kind of has like very vague timelines of what happened. So from
Okay.
here on, occasionally when needed, we'll go back and do some timeline going back. So next
Right.
frame.
Okay.
All right. So backstory time. So on the very southern tip of Kalmador, the elves discovered Encourage and ended up getting into a fight with the Karaji, which were the insect race created by Cthulhu, the old god.
Okay.
Ended up becoming a big war because Cthulhu's prison essentially started to crumble, allowing his race to escape as he was creating them.
Okay.
And with the help of the Bronze Dragonflight, we're able to create a seal so that they could not escape, basically turning it back into a prison. But realizing that all they're going to be doing is building their forces, they needed to be able to figure out a way to fend them off once the time comes or is needed.
Okay.
And due to this vicious war, the current leader of the Night Elves, Fandral Staghelm, or I think he was the general of their army at that time, his son died
Right.
in the war, and the key that was used to essentially reopen it if needed, he destroyed it out of misery.
Okay.
So that's the very quick and dirty of the backstory, because it's a lot of stuff. One of the books, pretty
Right.
much.
Right. Okay.
Next panel. The war
All right.
starts. Some of the Karaji makes it out of the prison. Cthulhu is now awakening, and they basically have cracks in the prison that they're just able to endlessly flood out of. And it's such
Okay.
to a high degree that there's no way we're fighting either faction is fighting their way in.
Right.
So they end up having to team up to find the fragments of the staff, recreate it, open it, as well as supplying their own war fronts against it.
Okay.
And as stated in the Chronicle, actually, the Horde ended up fighting the majority of the army outside, while the Alliance went in to face off Cthulhu himself and all
Okay.
his upper generals.
Oh wow.
All right, so next panel.
All right.
And here's our boy Cthulhu.
Cthulhu.
Yep. And he is pretty big. But yeah, turns out he actually had a plan for this. Any dragons
Right.
that were going to come in were going to be controlled by a spell he was preparing.
Right.
That only worked on dragons.
Oh no.
Yeah, and as you can see on the side text there.
What do you mean none of them showed up?
Yep, just a bunch of random mortals showed up and just stabbed him and fought him to weaken him and push
Well,
him back into his prison.
I just hate it when that happens. When you go out of your way to prepare this spell and none of the right people show up. That's
And
just a
it's not
pain in
even
the
by,
ass.
and it's completely by chance either. They didn't even know he was casting this spell.
That's
It's
funny.
just funny because the bronze dragons didn't even know this was happening. We just took care of this without them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, so we pushed him back, and now he's trapped in the cell, waiting for his next chance to escape. Next panel.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they just later retconned it, so we just killed him.
Oh, well, okay then.
Yeah.
That's one big problem out of the way, I suppose.
Yep. Because they didn't really know what to do, because what the original plan was that old gods could, like, physically die, but not die, so he would eventually just regenerate back to life eventually. And then they
Oh,
just decided, no, he's just dead.
huh.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Yep. Next panel. Naxxramas time. Kel'Thuzad decided to bring Naxxramas to the Eastern Kingdoms. Above Stratholme, actually.
Oh,
Yep, and he decided he was just going to try and invade the Eastern Kingdoms, and everyone decided that was not cool of him.
yeah, cool at all, my guy.
Yeah, because
Not cool at all.
he wanted to steal Atiesh Medivh's staff. But we showed up, killed him, found his phylactery, and took it back to Stormwind.
But we didn't destroy. God damn it. God damn it.
And well, and then we gave it to a trusted guard to basically imprison the phylactery. Which that trusted guard was actually one of the members of the Cult of the Damned, so he just ran off with it.
Of course he did.
Yep. Next panel.
God damn it. All
And
right.
now we're back to Draenor? Yeah, the Draenor are still alive on the remains of Draenor, as you remember what happened to it. The big ass explosion of the planet.
Right.
Yeah, so the Draenei were able to hide there. Well, Kel'Thas, who actually made it there with the help of Illidan and Lady Vash,
Right. Right.
Kel'Thas found out about the Draenei and the Naru, and essentially one issue with the High Elves is that they have an actual addiction to magic.
Right. Right. Because oh God. The big fountain in the land of the elves when Arthas invaded it
Yep,
and
the Sunwell.
turned Sylvanas. Sunwell. Because the Sunwell was destroyed and it no longer provides them with magic.
Yeah, like they were figuring out a way to fix it and rebuild it, and Kel'Thas followed Illidan to try to find a new way to sustain themselves.
Okay.
Because he is still the leader of the High Elves.
Right. Okay.
He ended up finding the Naru, found out about the Naru, and thought, maybe we could use this thing to fuel us.
Okay.
So he attacks the Draenei at what is now known as Tempest Keep, killing
Okay.
even more of them as they end up having to flee. And a section
Right.
of Tempest Keep just shoots off as like a giant escape pod.
Because of course it does.
Yeah, which only housed 10% of the remaining Draenei that were left.
Ooh.
Which, on top of all ones that the orcs killed,
Right.
which was a lot, I should mention.
Right.
Yep. So they escape. Kel'Thas actually got one of the Naru,
Right.
and the Draenei are now floating out. Next panel.
God dang it.
Yep. Lost in
In
space.
space.
Yeah, happy to
All
see
right.
them come back.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So the elves of Quel'Thalas, which now renamed
Right.
themselves the Blood Elves in memory of those lost to Arthas, where Arthas killed 90% of the population. So it was not that small of a scale. That they were devastated,
Right.
and due to issues during the Second War, where essentially the humans and elves basically were just bigots to each other,
Right.
they ended up joining the Horde instead of the Alliance.
Right.
And then a
And then
giant
some giant space rock with some weird goat people landed next to the Night Elves, and they joined the Alliance after they found out the leader, Blood Elves, murdered a bunch of their people at Tempest Keep.
Yep.
Weird goat people. I love it.
I mean, that's what they are.
That's true. That is very true.
Yep. And plus, canonically, it's discovered that the only reason they crash landed is because one of their pet baby goats actually started eating some of the wires.
Oh, god damn it.
Yep. His name is Argy.
God. He has a name?
He has a name. He's actually in the
Oh
cash
my
shop to buy his
god.
pet.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Of course he is.
Alright, next panel.
Yeah.
Now we're in the Burning Crusade.
Woohoo! I'm sorry, I'm yawning a lot today.
Yeah, it's alright. So now the Dark Portal reopens. Lord Kazek leads a charge for the Burning Legion. But the Argent Dawn, the people who are charged with keeping on the portal, find out about the invasion, spread the news, and stops their initial invasion.
Right.
Because who knew having guards actually helped?
Right? Crazy thought.
Yep. And then the following panel. The Heroes of Azeroth. Thrall wishes to go through the portal to see his homeworld. The Blood Elves wish to follow it in order to find out what happened to Kel'Thas, because he just... honestly, I don't know how he got there without the Dark Portal. He just kind of got there.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
Yeah. And the Alliance are worried about the demons coming through the portal, so they're like, yeah, we're just going to go through there and just kill demons. So everyone's going through for their own separate goals that just happen to coincide, as we're frenemies for now.
Yeah.
And now the portal, and now the map of Outland.
Right.
This
okay.
is all that remains of Draenor.
Jeez.
All right.
Okay.
And the Dark Portal is at that tip at Hellfire Peninsula.
Hellfire Peninsula, like right here?
Yep, that's where the Dark Portal is.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah, and pretty much Nagrand's like where like the orcs decided to resettle for those that were stranded there and survived.
Right.
Blade's Edge Mountain's where all the dead dragons are.
Okay.
Yep. There's actually a race of bird people called the Aarakocra that live in Terokar Forest.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and they worship the shadow and the void.
Oh,
Yeah.
not so nice.
Let's see. Zangargar Marsh is where Lady Vosh housed up her Naga, as they are actually hoarding the water of Outland.
Oh. Well, that's even more rude.
Yep. Kel'Thas is based out at Netherstorm, where Tempest Keep is located.
Right.
And somehow a bunch of goblins got there and made Jurassic Park.
Huh?
Yeah, there's like ecodomes that they made, and they decided.
I mean, I'm not
questioning.
questioning the goblins doing that, because goblins will goblin, and that's just a Warcraft thing. But, Jurassic Park, what?
Yep. Oh yeah, Dr. Boom's there too.
Of course.
And Shadowmoon Valley is the place of an abandoned Draenei temple that Illidan took for himself.
Oh, okay.
So that's essentially the layout of the land here. Oh yeah, and also the entirety of Hellfire Peninsula is made up of entirely of dead Draenei bones.
Oh. goody.
Like, it's an entire march of dead bones that filled a canyon
Oh,
just to
that's
open
just
the portal.
terrible. God damn.
Yeah.
So let me see if I got this right. We got dead dragons here.
Yep.
Kael'thas there.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, I can't think of her name again, but the
Vosh.
Naga lady. Vosh. Illidan's here.
Yep.
We got bird people here.
Yep.
Surviving orcs. And Draenei Death Valley.
Yep. Oh yeah, and also we happen to find us surviving alliance members there.
Oh! Well. Huh.
Next panel, whenever you're ready.
Speed round. What?
Yeah, pretty much a bunch of footnotes that just kind of happen without any much throughput put through. So
Gotcha,
Gruul, the
okay.
person who basically killed a bunch of the black dragons and caused Deathwing to run away, ended up the alliance got tricked into killing him by some black dragons disguised as humans.
Okay.
Which this turned out to be way more important later.
Right, okay.
Yep. A lot of demons get killed, like a lot, which surprisingly, because of how Outland kind of got destroyed, it's actually considered part of the Nether.
Oh.
So any demons that die here stay dead.
Oh. Ooh. Okay.
Yep. Which is why the Dark Portal was like such a major foothold for them, because it's infinite respawn at your front door.
Right.
Yep. And then we found the survivors of the Sons of Lothar.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the people from Warcraft 2. But the only leader we found was Khadgar. Lothar and his
Was he
wife.
mentioned?
What?
Was Khadgar mentioned? I can't remember.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He was Medivh's apprentice that got aged by 50 years.
Cut to the previous time when I acknowledged Khadgar in the last episode.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
moving on.
Meanwhile, Lothar and his wife have gone missing, but in their stead, we find their son.
Okay.
Who is like a half elf, half human paladin. Which, for some reason, like, this is where some weirdness happens. Never met his parents.
Right.
Like, he was just born and they were just gone. No one knows what happens to them.
So he pulled an Anakin Skywalker?
I mean, at least Anakin grew up with his mom.
Oh, yeah, true.
Like, both the mom and
shit.
dad are gone. And remember, the
Oh,
mom is
shit,
one of
okay.
Sylvanas' sisters.
Oh. Huh.
Yep. And
Hmm.
next footnote, Thrall ends up finding the uncorrupted orcs. And we end up meeting one of the Giga Chads himself. Garrosh Hellscream.
Yeah.
Grom's only son.
Woohoo.
And he's gonna become super
Oh.
important later. Because Thrall
Okay.
ends up taking him under as his apprentice.
Okay.
Because, I mean, why wouldn't he at this point?
Right.
And just as another footnote, Garrosh was actually treated like absolute fucking shit in Outland.
Oof.
Because everyone just knew him as the son of a man who damned us all. Since Grom was the first to drink the blood and got everyone else to go in with him.
Yeah.
So he just lived with that shame, only for Thrall to come in and explain that Grom killed Manaroth, freeing them from the Blood Rage, giving Garrosh a new lease on life.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
Now you know the next
Grom,
panel.
like, Grom is... Would it be accurate to say that Grom has a very weird place in terms of the opinion of the fan base? Because, like, I get the feeling that a lot of people hate him just as much as they find him to be a Giga Chad.
That's where Garrosh kind of is now too, but Garrosh drastically overshadows Grom now.
Gotcha.
Like most people forget Grom exists.
Oh, that's sad, because Grom is my boy.
Well, once you see all the stuff Garrosh ends up doing, you'll see why.
Ah, fair enough. All right, next panel.
Major conflicts. Tempest Keep is raided by a band of heroes, and Kel'Thas is killed.
Oh, goody.
Which we end up freeing the Naru with that. Illidan uses
Right.
Serpent Shrine Cavern to hoard all the water. The heroes raid and kill Lady Vosh. We listen to the insane ramblings of Maeve and believe her, who also somehow has been in Outland this whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, like she has like some huge hard on with hunting down Illidan. It makes no sense. And then we end up raiding Black Temple, defeat Illidan, but due to his demon powers, he's like impossible to like permakill or something.
Right.
And then, and here's where things kind of change a lot depending on which source you're looking.
Right.
Because in game, the entirety of Burning Crusade, Illidan is essentially this weird paranoid lunatic who is doing all this shit just for the sake of survival.
Right.
He's just panicking over people coming to kill him. That's it.
Right.
Specifically kill Jaden.
Right.
He is like scared out of his brains, and this is just him panicking until we show up and kick his ass.
Right.
In the books, in secret, he's been like masterminding this entire demon hunter army of elves that essentially who've been wronged by the Burning Legion. No matter where they came from, all of them were welcome to join him. They did not even have to become demon hunters, as that process itself is insanely dangerous, and only like 1 out of 10 elves survive the process.
Right.
Because it involves them actually absorbing the soul of a demon and containing it within them.
Okay.
So it's like a risk that you have to choose to take yourself. Because forcing it upon them is essentially guaranteed death.
Right. In like all but one case out of every 10.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that would burn through an army pretty fucking quick.
No, like, if the demon was forcing you unwillingly, it was guaranteed death. You didn't even have that chance.
Okay. Okay.
Because if you took it in there, then you're the one trying to suppress the demon rather than someone else forcing it in you.
Right.
And essentially, he's been sending these demon hunters out to Legion worlds and killing demons and destroying them while we're doing all this shit. And Maeve finds out about this.
Right.
The warden. And she's like, sees this, and he's like, no, Illidan's still in the wrong. No, we need to kill him. Now. Just blindly following orders.
Yeah, she's kind of crazy.
And Akama, doing everything he can, tries to reason with her, only for her to backstab him, and Illidan finds out about this, is betrayed by Akama, and rips his soul out. Which you probably would remember Akama from Warcraft 3. The one weird broken guy. Which turns out, he is a Draenei, and the broken are essentially Draenei who have been cut off from the light, and no longer are able to use light magic or anything of the sort. And have to resort to shamanism in order to do anything.
Okay.
And during the raid, we end up reuniting Akama with his soul.
Oh.
Yeah. So Akama is good.
Woohoo!
But yeah, so Maeve ends up, after he beat up Illidan, Maeve imprisons his body and seals it away somewhere. The demon hunters show up because we happen to raid while they're attacking a Legion homeworld.
Right.
And she just beats all of them by herself off screen. And that's pretty much Burning Legion in a nutshell for Illidan's story.
That's... Huh. I don't know how to feel about that. It's not bad, but is it wrong to say that it's not necessarily good?
It's not good. Like, they made the books way after the fact in order to, like, fill in a lot of these gaps.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, basically the way it ends in-game is just the insane rabblings of a man scared to die.
Right. Okay. Huh.
Next panel, because Burning Legion is not over yet.
Oh, goody.
The Sunwell incident.
Oh, goody.
Kel'Thas somehow survived being killed.
Of course.
and invaded Quel'Thalas in order to use the Sunwell to summon Kil'jaeden to Azeroth.
But why?
Because Kil'jaeden promised to give him the Fel to feed his people.
Oh
Which
my
Illidan
God.
refused to do that. Because he knew the Fel would corrupt them. So Kael'thas essentially went behind Illidan's back and teamed up with Kil'jaeden. So the Horde and Alliance end up invading Quel'Thalas as the Burning Legion kind of took over quickly. The Naru that they somehow had, Moru, it gets corrupted and becomes a Void Noru, and they end up having to kill it.
Right.
So they had to kill essentially a god through this whole thing. And Kil'jaeden actually comes through the Sunwell. And they push him back through somehow. Like, he gets, like, his upper body through, but they keep him from getting through, and they basically threaten to close it on him.
So they threaten to pull, like... Isn't that one of the oldest fucking magician tricks when you cut someone in half? Is that seriously what they threaten to do to him? Just, turn it off?
Yeah. And he ends up running back through the portal because half of him's still technically in the Twisting Nether, so it's a 50-50 shot if he's permadead or not if we do it.
Fair enough.
Because if he knew that he'd survive, he would have gone for it.
Or or would it have been a situation where only half of him died?
Yeah, he's just
and the other half
for the rest of the floor.
Or worse yet, he's just a pair of legs. He's just a pair of legs from then on outward.
Well, his legs
no
are the
mind,
part that's in
nothing.
the Twisting Nether.
Oh, okay.
He went through head first.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, no, then he'd probably be wheelchair bound for the rest of his life. Ha!
Yep. And then we got the weird love story that was in the mangas that are canon. Where Kalecgos, the blue dragon, fell in love with the Sunwell and...
Nani?
Yeah, like the Sunwell, apparently, when Arthas invaded and broke it, rather than like break it entirely, it just shot like a large portion of its magic out, and it just became a human girl. And for some reason, Kalecgos was drawn to it and had a romantic relationship with her. As eventually, it wandered its way back to the Sunwell and restored it. But in turn, sacrificing her life because she is the Sunwell.
Qua? Nani?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, that happens. It's like a 3-book manga about it.
It's not even that it happened, right? It's not even that it happened. It's that Blizzard looked at this and said, yes, this is in fact canon.
Yeah, so that is everything.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, next panel, I guess?
Yep. Side plot that happened off screen was a book thing. King Varian Wrynn was found by himself after being kidnapped, given amnesia, and enslaved by orcs, and then freed himself while fighting through a gladiator coliseum while having amnesia, going by the name of Logosh, which means the wolf. He eventually fought his way back to Stormwind, regained his memory with the help of Valyria, who is also a captured gladiator slave of the orcs, who was a blood elf at the time, and joined the Alliance afterwards. And then we go to the in-game part where he ends up ordering the execution and hunt down of Onyxia, the daughter of Deathwing, who was actually the disguised noble that sold him out to the Defias Brotherhood that kicked this whole thing into gear. Any questions?
I have too many to ask.
Okay, just start.
Okay, so I vaguely remember that there was a lady who sold out the others who sold out someone to a brotherhood.
Yep, that would be this thing.
Okay, so that I remember. So if I'm understanding correctly, he found us, the players,
Yep.
after being kidnapped, after having amnesia, being enslaved, and then freed from the orcs.
Yeah, because when he was captured, he was used as a gladiator, and due to his amnesia, could not pull his "I'm the king of Stormwind, put and send me back" kind of card.
So then what happened with the Brotherhood?
Oh, they're still around. Like they're we've tried dealing with them numerous times. They are not going anywhere. Like
Okay.
their leader Edwin Van Cleef we've killed, and then a Murloc took over for like 2 years, Captain Cookie, and somehow he did good.
No, no, no! I beg your fucking pardon. Say his name again.
Captain Cookie.
What the fuck?
And then eventually his daughter got pissed
The
off of being led by a Murloc, kicked him, threatened to kill him, but then thought he was too cute to kill, so kept him as a pet. And now she's currently the leader of the Defias Brotherhood.
I. Okay.
And she actually currently uses Captain Cookie to hide behind as like a scapegoat because apparently everyone still thinks he's in charge. So like if shit goes wrong, Captain Cookie takes the fault and she could just take over afterwards.
Hang on. I need to do something super quick.
What?
I'm gonna Google a couple things here. Images. Hang on.
Okay, you're looking up Captain Cookie. Might have to put in Warcraft. Yeah, that's Captain Cookie.
I need a minute. I need a minute.
I mean, if Sir Finley Murgleton can become a renowned archaeologist, why can't Captain Cookie be a pirate king?
I am probably one of the most progressive people in my friend group, so I fully support his right to be a captain. I'm just. I'm just. I just need a minute.
Oh yeah, Sir Finley Murgleton is canon to Warcraft.
Of course he is.
And it's always a treat to run into him.
Kaya Kitten says, Onyxia was so pretty. Captain Cookie can do whatever he wants. I support Captain Cookie. I too support the Captain Cookie, but... okay.
Oh yeah, there's also one plot point I forgot to mention about the Varian Wrynn story.
Right.
There's like one part where Onyxia like somehow split him in half, so like there's like the warrior version of him, the one that got captured, and then like a submissive do as he's told version that she kind of kept in the dungeon somewhere.
Oh! Okay.
Literally just to use as a bargaining tool in case shit went wrong.
I refuse to believe that. I absolutely insist that he was more than a bargaining chip, and you cannot convince me otherwise. There's no way.
Who wants to kill him?
Mm-hmm. You cannot convince me otherwise. You know what my... Exactement. Exactement. All right, let's get off this slide because my brain right now. Okay.
Happy feelings.
Yes. I will say, single-handedly, out of every fucking introduction cinematic for every fucking WoW expansion that I have seen, Wrath of the Lich Kings is still the best, and I will die on that hill.
You might actually have a runner-up sometime in here, or at least a pretty good, strong contender.
For me, it's gonna be very hard because Oh, the fucking custom score. And Arthas's father just so good. Just whoever's watching, if you get the chance, watch Wrath of the Lich King trailer, and then listen to Arthas Lich King theme on YouTube. Fucking phenomenal.
I mean, this is like one of the two contenders for best expansion ever.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and that's what everyone says is that Wrath of the Lich King was either peak or nearly peak Warcraft.
Yeah, but and everyone also agrees on what the second contender is for the best one.
And I take it that's going to be later in the slideshow.
Yep.
Cool.
Because
I suspect I know what it is, but I could be wrong.
what one do you think it is?
Mists of Pandera?
No,
Really?
really.
Hmm.
All right. So now the story of the Death
Yeah.
Knights.
Yes.
So Arthas starts raising fallen heroes as Death Knights.
So something I wanted to ask though, real quick,
Okay.
is what has Arthas been doing since the end of Frozen Throne and now? Like, has he just is that something we're going to discuss later in this slideshow, or is that just not really mentioned at all and it's only kind of inferred?
It's only really inferred on what he's been doing this whole time, but for the most part, it's basically just been building his forces.
Okay, so
Because,
just kind of sitting on the throne, kind of building his forces.
yeah, as apparently he's just. Because this is something that's more brought up during, like, random snippet quests in a book, I think. But essentially, he's. Since Nurzul's been talking to him,
Right.
he's basically come to the idea of that. Okay, so we're doing this to stop the Burning Legion.
Right.
We don't give a shit about what happens to life. We're just saying fuck you, Burning Legion. We're just gonna kill any demons that come. They want to destroy Azeroth, so we'll protect it just to spite them.
Oh, Petty Lich King is a mood I was not prepared to enjoy, but I am all here for it.
And he's
So you're telling me that one of the biggest bads says to the other biggest bad, "Fuck you," and that's basically Arthas's MO.
yes,
I fucking love it.
because they're both agreed on this because literally both of them have been continuously screwed over by the Nathrazine, specifically.
Right. Fucking love it.
And Arthas essentially has taken it and made his MO of I'm not committing to something unless I can guaranteed the win.
Right.
So that's why he's been doing nothing but building his forces, because if his force comes, he knows that he is going to win.
Right.
So that's essentially his motive.
Yeah, so that's theoretically what he's been doing in between the events of ascending the staircase in Frozen Throne and essentially starting in Wrath of the Lich King.
Correct.
Nothing notable or worthwhile as far as like the lore goes.
Like the only real notable mention is the Scarlet Crusade,
Okay.
which is a faction of Lordaeron survivors at the
Right.
start,
Right.
who have basically made it their whole deal to essentially kill and destroy anything related to the undead.
Okay.
Essentially taking it to the far extreme of even with the undead obtaining their free will or whatever, they're still undead. We can't trust them. They need to die.
Right. Okay.
So essentially they're like a third party faction that whose entire goal is to fight against the Lich King.
Okay.
Who later then get more people join in, and then they also just become a band of racists who just kill anything that's not human.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. But they have some notable people in there, with one of them being, I forget what her first name is, but Whitemane, a human who has been blessed with the gift of being unable to die.
Oh. Well, shit.
Yeah, like she's just straight up, you can kill her, but she'll become back to life in like 3 days.
God damn.
Yeah, so she becomes the leader of the Scarlet Crusade.
Beat that, Christ. Ha! Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, because we've killed her like 5 times already.
Ha!
Because, like,
Holy shit.
power-wise, she's just like you're somewhat stronger than average priest.
Okay.
But yeah, but back to the Death Knights. So Arthas starts a campaign against the Scarlet Crusade to raise Death Knights.
Right.
The current generation of them, where they're just mindless servants of significant power.
Right.
And one of the tests to make sure that they are loyal to them is essentially finding out who their best friend was, find them, and make them execute them.
Oof.
That is actually one of the starting quest lines you have to do as a Death Knight.
Oh. So wait, did they oh god, were they stupid and silly about it? Like, hello there, best friend. Oh god!
No.
Or were they like super
No, they are like
Aw,
tied up in a
damn it.
building, make you walk in as they realize who you are and try to talk you out of it. It is 100% taken seriously.
Oh, damn it. That would have been the perfect opportunity for them to pull a fucking blizzard and make it funny. See, that would have been gold. They just bring in a random NPC who happens to be your best friend. Is like, oh, hey, bestie. Oh, God, you're killing me. Maybe it's just my sense of humor. I don't know.
Oh, you probably would like this other quest line where where there's a quest to make you a quest giver and you have to deal with a bunch of entitled players.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes!
And like one of them is like this guy who literally spends like a bunch of money on the cash shop and is running around on paid for mounts.
Oh my god. God, I love that self-referential humor. I fucking love that shit. That is my crack cocaine. Oh! Good shit.
Okay. But essentially, during this fight with the Scarlet Crusade, they come across Darian Morgraine.
Right.
Who is a paladin.
Right.
And eventually, through a whole bunch of hullabaloo and family politic bullshit, he ends up getting killed, and the Ashbringer, a legendary weapon of pure light, gets corrupted with the taint of undeath.
Right, okay.
And eventually, all this fighting at nearby the Paladin temples brings out Tyrion Forgery, who is currently the leader of the Paladins.
Okay.
And I believe he's also, along with Uther, one of the first Paladins in existence too. Because this is a side note, Paladins only came into existence during the Second War.
Which was the events of which game?
Warcraft 2.
Warcraft 2, okay. That makes sense. But wait, is Uther alive?
No, he's dead, but like him and Uther, he knows Uther. That's more of what.
Oh, he knew Uther. Okay. I was just like, motherfucker, did they fucking bring Uther back?
I mean, you can talk to his ghost.
Well, yeah, of course he could talk to his ghost. Arthas kicked his ass. Of course there's a ghost. I thought there was a flesh and blood. I'm like, motherfucker, what?
I mean, the body's still there. It's not going to talk back, but it's there.
So theoretically, you could bring him back. Huh.
No, we can't. There's like a multitude of regions that come up lore-wise that, no.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so essentially, the Lich King is raining down the entirety of his army on the Paladins.
Right.
So their time's basically come.
Right.
Next panel. Somehow Tyrion gets a hold of the Ashbringer, and just through him alone, purifies the Ashbringer, and just wipes out the entirety of the army that Arthas had, caught and wounding him.
What the fuck?
Just from the purification alone.
What the fuck?
And this instant also frees the Death Knights from Arthas' grasp, allowing them to join the Horde in Alliance.
Okay.
So Arthas ends up running back to Northrend, because this actually happens in the Eastern Kingdoms.
Right.
And it ended up being a big enough blow to Arthas to allow the Horde Alliance to start a counteroffensive.
Okay.
Because they knew he was up there, they were just too scared to do anything.
Right.
Next panel. The map of Northrend.
Right, okay. So, Ice Crown. So, I'm just trying to think. So, where's Azul Nerub on this map?
It would be at Zul'Darak.
Zul'Darak. Okay. Interesting.
Yep. And just as some other notes, the Alliance landed in the Borean Tundra, Horde and landed at the Hollowing Fjord.
Hollowing Fjord. Okay.
The race that the humans are actually descendants of, their kingdoms in the Howling Fjord.
Okay.
Solar Basin is actually home to a future evolution to the Murlocs, who actually have clairvoyant powers.
Psychic fish people.
Yep, psychic fish people.
What? I'm not even kidding. Like, I had a bout of tinnitus just from hearing that. I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that tower in Dragonblight is the pretty much where the Dragonflights meet up. So it's their neutral ground with each other.
Okay.
And Dragonblight itself is also their dragon graveyard.
Okay.
The one that you mentioned before.
Yeah, the one that, spoiler warnings, for those who have not seen the opening cinematic. Watch the opening cinematic before I explain this. Okay, you're back. In the beginning open cinematic, motherfucking Arthas brings back a fucking ice dragon. Fucking stabbing his sword into the ice, and it just cracks, and it just rises up, and it's just like, I'ma kill everything.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
that's actually a very major plot point.
Yeah, it's if I remember correctly, it's not the leader of the Blue Dragonflight, but it's like one of the elders of the Blue
It's his
Dragonflight,
wife.
isn't it? Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's Sindragosa, the wife that died during the War of the Ancients.
Oh. Oh my.
And remember, he never found her body, but Arthas did.
uh
And just as the next relevant plot point, you know that little floating spire near the Borean Tundra?
hang on.
In that
This
little
one?
ice island over there? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I see it.
That is the Nexus, the home base of the Blue Dragons. So he literally was able to see that happen.
Oh. Oh my.
And he was already a very outspoken recluse of how magic was used after the War of the Ancients, and now he saw that.
Le big oof.
Yeah.
The hugest of oofs.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
All right, ready for the next panel?
I don't know, but fuck it.
So the war against the Lich King begins. Dalaran moves to Northrend.
All right. Okay.
Do you remember that city that Archimonde broke in that one cinematic with the sandcastle?
Yes.
That was Dalaran. After they rebuilt it, they literally
Okay.
they made a bunch of magic sigils in the ground around it to allow it to essentially cause the ground beneath it to float up and fly it anywhere they need it to be.
Okay.
So it's now a flying city. So they brought it close to the Dragon Spire so that they can use it as neutral ground for the Horde and Alliance, as well as a third and secondary base for both factions.
Right.
And that's it. Everyone works to deal with the Lich King. Dragonflights are going
Right.
to assist as much as they can, but are not willing
Right.
to commit because if one of them dies, that's just another dragon for him to use.
Right, exactly.
And pretty much,
Okay.
we eventually their first move is decided. Ready for the next panel?
Yes.
We found
The
Muradin.
what? God, God, why? No, 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 no.
You're not happy with Muradin surviving? The silence is deafening.
I am of two emotions. Okay, let me explain to the audience and you why I am seething right now. Okay, Muradin was a great character. He was a phenomenal character. I'm glad he's back. He's a fucking fantastic dwarf. His voice was used to make one of my favorite lines. This is my boomstick. Right? He does the Sean Connery impression if you click on him long enough, right? I have no problems with Muradin. What we do well know is my thoughts on how Arthas's plotline, whose integral points, some might say the most pinnacle of points in his story, involved him killing Muradin. Technically, it was the second soul that Frostborn claimed, according to the story. Why did Blizzard retcon this? If I didn't need this fucking pencil in my hand for illustrating and drawing, I would snap it in twain right now. I am so upset.
I mean, if I recall, he didn't actually strike him with the sword. It was like the explosion of the ice that kind of did him in the game.
It was implied very heavily, though, that he killed Muradin,
It was,
particularly with the dwarves wanting him dead and having an oath against him.
yeah,
Like
it
it
was
was
the
very
intent.
yes.
But yeah, so he spent this whole time thinking he was one of the frost dwarves that just happened to live in Northrend.
Because of course, why not?
Yep.
Because of fucking course, why not?
So now,
Chat, I'm livid. I'm angry. I am so angry that I have circled back to indifference.
I mean, on the upside, now that he's regained his memory, he's vowed vengeance against Arthas and is now seeking to join the Alliance in the war against him for his own
Yeah.
personal vendetta.
Okay. I'm good. I'm
Next
okay.
panel.
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
So, Naxxramas shows up again and we attack it. We find Kel'Thuzad and kill
So
him.
wait, hang on. What is Naxxramas
Uh, you know
exactly?
those? Okay, you know that one base building that the undead use in Warcraft 3?
Which one?
Like the main base.
Oh, the I know the building you're talking about. Yes, I can't recall the name off the top of my head, but
Yeah,
yes.
it's one of those, but they actually
Okay.
are able to fly and move around.
Okay, so it's basically a named settlement. Got it.
Yes, and it's Kel'Thuzad's personal one,
Got
so
it.
it's
Okay.
his.
Now see, that's cool. That's cool that they're floating carrier Deathstroke. So we go from making me infuriated to fucking making something that should be a game mechanic. I dig it. Moving on.
Yep. So everyone assaults Naxxramas, kills
Right.
Kel'Thuzad, but this time his phylactery's missing.
Oh shit. Kaya says my favorite boss is in Naxxramas. Kaya, I'm curious. What's your favorite boss? I'm sorry. Do you mind if I derail this real
Go
quick?
right ahead.
Because I'm just curious. But no, like that's a really cool mechanic. While I'm waiting for her to type it out, that's such a cool mechanic that they like these personal flying fortresses can that adds so much lore potential. Like imagine that every single lich has one of these fortresses, right? And it's just filled to the brim with cultists and undead. That's fucking dope.
Well,
That's such a cool thing that they never implemented in the game in the RTS.
yeah,
Ah,
because in the game, Naxxramas is one of the raids, and it has 14 bosses in it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, 3 separate wings for
Uh,
different versions of.
he says, my favorite boss is a Frankenstein. The ambient noise is 100 meme.
Oh yeah, that
He,
one gives people nightmares.
oh, God. Okay, I'll
Because
have to Google that
literally,
later.
until you kill him, his ambient noises are
Mhm.
playing throughout the entirety of the raid, and people
Oh.
literally go after him first just to end the sounds.
Oh, it's that bad?
I mean,
Oh,
because it's like
shit.
this giant Frankenstein. Okay, Okay, how much of Hearthstone have you played?
Um, I got super into it like at the start of it, and then I stopped like to this day. Like I play it on and off,
Because
but
one
I'm
of
not like
the
super into
single
it.
player campaigns from the early days was Naxxramas.
Okay.
And one of the cards you can get was Stalag and Felton Fullarg, and if they both die, you get that boss as like your card, and he's like 11/11,
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
and pretty much he is like this giant abomination because the abominations are like made up of different people's bodies.
Right, right, right.
Think,
Megan
yeah,
waiting.
think of a giant one, only way more humanoid, no open wounds, just Frankenstein type body build,
Oh,
but
that's
made
terrifying.
entirely out of women and children who are still alive.
Oh,
And the ambient noises is their crying, wishing
hang
for
on.
death.
Hang on, chat. I need to show you what my face looks like. I'm gonna temporarily turn on my webcam here. Oh! Oh! I hate it.
You can see why people go after him first now, right?
And here's Kaya saying, I try to kill them last. Oh, God. Oh,
Next panel,
no. Yes. Oh, but we don't find the phylactery this time. I'm assuming that that's important.
the Nexus War.
And
The,
this is, and you just said that this is the headquarters of the Blue Flight, right?
yes. So
I love
after,
the first line. I love the first line. Do you mind if I read it?
yep,
The leader of the Dragonflight is mad.
yeah. So Malagos, the leader of the Blue Dragon Flight, he essentially, after the revival, the undead revival of his wife,
Right?
has just gone insane, and is now, and as the protector of magic, is seeking to revoke everyone's use of it
Oh.
indiscriminately.
Oh. Oh no.
And we're talking about like he is making other blue dragons go off, and if they see anyone use magic, execute on sight,
Oh.
even if they're other dragons.
Right.
So it became a whole infighting, and everyone had to fight, go up against the blue dragons and end their leader.
Because nobody's got time for that shit right now.
Exactly.
Okay, so we now have a change in management, I'm assuming.
The leadership just, we don't have time to manage that though, so they'll have to take care of it on their own. But we end
Right.
up killing them, and then we go to the next phase of the war, the Wrath Gate. Basically, the last
Okay.
gate that's keeping us from going right up to Ice Crown Citadel.
Okay.
Next panel. Cinematic time.
Oh. Is this the one that's heavily memed or no?
No.
Okay. Alright. Well, that was a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
So, hold up. I thought the Forsaken were part of the Horde.
They are.
So then... Oh, why? Oh, my head. Okay. So... Why did they attack the Horde then if they're a part of the Horde?
Because there's a section of the Forsaken that just
Right.
feel that they have been wronged to such a large degree that everyone needs to repay for what happened to them.
Oh, god damn it.
Like, we were down to that version of Edgelord for some of them.
Oh, of course.
Next panel whenever you're ready.
Hang on. Let me. There we go. The battle for the Undercity. Is that the next one?
Yep.
Okay.
So Undercity is the Forsaken's capital city under the ruins of Lordaeron.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
So both the Horde and Alliance both end up sieging the Undercity. And discovered the Dreadlord Valimathras was actually the second in command of the Forsaken next to Sylvanas herself.
Oh shit.
And supposedly he was the creator of those plague bombs that were used that even affected the undead.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sylvanas claims to know nothing about this.
Okay.
And an all-out war essentially was bound to happen, but due to Thrall and Jaina actually putting a quick stop to it with Jaina warping everyone Alliance side out of Undercity before the fighting turned cross-faction completely.
Right.
And Sylvanas
Which,
kept the plague bombs for future use.
of course she fucking did. God damn it.
Yeah.
I don't often say that people deserve what happens to them when it comes to the undead plague, but slowly but surely I'm starting to learn that Sylvanas might be genuinely one of those people.
She goes through a lot of shit.
Ugh. Alright.
Next panel. Another cinematic.
Good God. Okay.
Yeah, we got a couple of these.
Their Elder God.
Yep.
Oh, hang on. Ah, stop it. There we go. Oh, damn it. There we go. Alright, I'm on the next slide.
Yep. Look who's back.
Oh, goody. This is not fine. Everyone in the chat, give him bits so that things will be fine.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right.
That is the only way he'll be fine.
All right.
Anyway.
Next panel when you're ready.
Yes. Who knew robots with emotions would be trouble? Okay.
Yep. Okay. So you're probably going to get some recognizable names just because of, well, the names.
Right. Oh. They just flat out just copied and pasted. Okay.
Yep. So a little bit of backstory here because
Right.
So Thorum loves Sif, and so did Loki or Loken.
Right.
Sif marries Thorum. Loken kills Sif in a jealous fit. Panics over the dead body, where Yogg-Saron disguises one of his tentacles as Sif and dates him.
Oh.
Causing Loken to go mad with power and eventually gaslights Thorum into going crazy too.
Of course.
Yeah.
All the while, the Lich King is still around. What the fuck?
Well, all this kind of happened like maybe around the War of the Ancients or something. I don't know. They never really said when this part happens, but it's before Warcraft.
Right. Okay.
So this has been going on for like a long time.
Okay.
But now we have to deal with it during the Lich King.
Right.
So yep, heroes end up killing Loken, and then we go into Azeroth to face off against the madness being spread from Ulduar.
Okay.
Next panel.
What happened?
So we end up fighting a bunch of the Titan Keepers. Memron, the creator of the Mechanomes, also which later became gnomes in the Temple of Innovation. So if you think like gnomes are like crazy inventor gadgeteers, picture essentially what their god would be like.
Right, exactly.
Who literally only made the gnomes to help him make stuff faster.
Right.
Freya, protector of life in her temple. Thorum in his Colosseum that he made people fight for his entertainment for some reason. After he got gaslit. Hodir in his weird temple of winter wastelands. Like, it's just this big snow cavern with nothing in it. And then Algalon, who is the only one who didn't go mad, but kind of keeps his door locked so he didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And actually sends out an SOS distress signal to the Titans to just wipe out all life.
Oh.
And he does not actually mention this, but he never gets a response back.
Oh.
And he keeps that detail to himself, worried of what it'll do to others if they found out that something happened to the Titans.
Right.
And once freed from their corruption, they end up helping us fight Yogg-Saron.
Oh, goody.
Yep, and there he is. And look, there's even a dead body next to him for scale.
Oh, joy. The Forge of Wills.
Yep. So we also discovered the Forge of Wills, which was installed here.
Right.
Yep. To infuse the world soul with cosmic energy to help it grow stronger, because just because it's already the strongest one Titan potentially in existence doesn't mean we can't make it stronger.
Right.
And is able to be used to create life.
Okay.
Now picture what an old god could do if it had that.
Oh.
And why the hell is it in one of its prisons?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So we put a stop to that.
All right.
And now we go to the Argent Tournament.
Argent Tournament. Okay.
Okay, the next panel has the video where it's going to be Mimi.
Okay.
So pretty much the Argent Crusade, which is basically housed by paladins that basically act as their own faction. Anyone's able to join them, you just pretty much have to put your faction squabbles behind you.
Right.
So they set up a tournament along with the Ebon Blade, which are the Death Knights who regained their freedom.
Right.
And pretty much the winners of the tournament will be essentially the main strike force that will go in Ice Crown to fight Arthas himself, while everyone else battles everything else.
Yeah.
So they fight several beasts, and as one of the tests, Wilfred Fizzlebank is going to summon a Doom Guard to test the participants.
Oh!
What?
Okay. If I remember correctly, those are those big hulking red demons, right? In Warcraft 3?
The big ones with the bat wings and like the jaw stomach? Or the jaws in his gut?
No, the big one with the horns and the bat wings. It looks more like a classical demon. Big, bulky, flaming sword wings.
To make sure, because it's kind of hard to explain them.
Hang on. Oh yeah, that is it.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the same thing.
Yep, so he's going to summon one of those for our participants to fight.
So, for context, for those wondering why I'm freaking the fuck out, Doom Guards are one of the few units in the game that deal unblockable damage. Because in Warcraft, there's 3 types of damage, right? There's slashing, piercing, bludgeoning, right?
Yep.
And there are 2 types of damage that circumvent this. There's heroic damage, and then there's chaos damage.
Right.
Or no, I think heroes even follow the same rules of piercing, bludgeoning. It's just chaos damage that just deals equal damage to every fucking thing.
Yeah.
These were one of the few units in the game that you could recruit in some shape or form that automatically came with this. So yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So next panel when you're ready for what happened in this fight.
And just to warn everyone watching, from what I understand, this is a bit more of a funny video rather than... Because you couldn't find the actual video, you said, right?
Not without me actually going there and recording it myself, but people would also be kind of mad if I didn't post this, because this was like one of the big memes of Warcraft.
Gotcha. Okay, alright, so...
But yeah, what do you think of Jarraxus?
Give me just 1 second here. I'm just going to go to the next slide just to keep that from playing again. Oh God. It's in the same fucking vein as Oxhorn's short shorts.
Yep.
Oh my God. And that just dates how old I fucking am. Holy shit.
I mean, it's about the same time period.
Jesus.
But yeah, so Jaraxxus end up having to be stopped by everyone there.
Because he's a fucking Doomguard working for the fucking Burning
He's not a
Legion.
Doom Guard.
Oh shit, that's right. He was fucking one of the things that Archimonde is.
Specifically, he's Archimonde's number 2.
Oh. Oh shit.
Literally, literally, if he got out of there, the Burning Legion would be there in minutes. Because he's able to just summon Archimonde by himself.
This guy just randomly summoned him?
On accident. Trying to summon
Oh
something
my
weaker
god.
than him.
Oh my god. That's
And just to add even more little context of how fucked this ended up being, his entire
Yeah.
family went into hiding after this
Fizzlebottoms?
happened.
Fizzlebottom's family?
Yes, Wilfred Fizzlebang's family went into hiding.
What the fuck?
Because it was later found out that his bloodline has such potent conditions for summoning magic that in the wrong hands, they could potentially summon Archimonde or kill Jaden without trouble. So they went into hiding for their own safety.
So let me just say that is peak Blizzard humor, and I fucking love it. This man was so absurdly powerful, he summoned the Devil's number 2 by fucking accident. And I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like, was he actually intending to just summon a Doomguard? Like, that was his plan?
Yeah, and he just
Or,
rolled
like,
with it.
oh. And it was just later found out
Yeah.
that, no, that was Archimonde's number 2.
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah. So yeah, after another potential invasion of the Burning Legion was stopped, the tournament continued. The Horde ended up causing some more infighting with the Alliance, killing several of their heroes, blaming the Alliance for attempted assassination.
Right.
Since the gnomes aren't Alliance.
Right.
After that quelled down, Anubarak attacked the tournament.
Oh, goody.
Yep, causing the battlefield in the Colosseum to collapse in on itself. And they ended up killing Anubarak.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. So those who survived his attack ended up becoming the heroes that will storm Icecrown.
Right, okay.
And next panel. Look where we are.
Yes.
So next panel, some notable fights that happened. So a green dragon was actually captured by Arthas, and he was trying to turn into undead so he could tap into the Emerald Dream to use it himself.
Oh.
Which is specifically why the dragons did not want to commit for shit like this happening.
Right.
So we end up saving it. Having to fight and put down Sindragosa.
Right. Who, again, is that dragon from the opening cinematic, which, if you still haven't fucking seen it, why? I've literally given you 3 chances at this point. You're just dooming yourselves to spoilers.
Yep.
From the most epic thing ever. YouTube. God.
And halfway up the tower, they end up fighting Deathbringer Saurfan, the risen Death Knight version of that orc that he killed at the Wrathgate.
Oh. Oof.
And,
okay.
And we got an in-game moment in the next panel that we just really hits home for a lot of people.
I think I know what this is. Or no, maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out.
Saurfan's boy, the Horde commander at the Wrathgate. Such a tragic end. What in the... There in the distance! Soldiers, fall in! Looks like the Horde are coming to take another shot! Don't force me hand, Orc. We can't let you pass.
Behind you lies the body of my only son. Nothing will keep me from him.
I can't do it. Get back on your ship and we'll spare your life.
Stormwind is reborn. Stand down, Muradin. Let a grieving father pass.
No Ko kills Ilnok Atar. I will not forget this kindness. I thank you, Highness.
I was not at the Wrathgate, but the soldiers who survived told me much of what happened. Your son fought with honor. He died a hero's death. He deserves a hero's burial. Jaina, why are you crying?
It was nothing, Your Majesty. Just... I'm proud of my king.
Muradin, secure the deck and prepare our soldiers for an assault on the upper citadel. I'll send out another regiment from Stormwind.
Right away, Your Majesty!
God damn it.
So how was that?
I'm not crying. You're crying. Fuck you. Yeah. Ugh. Fuck. That's rough, buddy.
You were not prepared for this.
No. No, I was not. The demon being summoned by accident, I was prepared for. Crying was not. It's bullshit. Anyway. God bless it. There we go. Alright. The final battle.
So High Lord Tyrion Fordring with the Ashbringer what was already somehow beat everyone up to the top of Icecrown Citadel. And we also find Bolvar still alive as well, chained above the throne, being tortured. as Arthas has been torturing him ever since the Wrathgate, trying to turn him into one of his Death Knights. And Bolvar just simply refused due to his sheer willpower alone and the faith in the light. And Arthas starts by freezing Tyrion into a giant block of ice so he can't even help us fight him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been terribly awkward for the first people to play.
Yeah.
So like, oh yeah, no, we got this. We have an extra fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, and eventually, after what the game basically shows us him getting weakened down to like maybe 10% of his life, Arthas just then will just instantly kill everyone, as he's just been holding back, testing the strike force to see if they're worthy of being his own strike force of Death Knights.
Oh.
Yeah. So essentially, and he starts preparing to revive everyone. But he forgot about Tyrion, who, through the light, gets through the ice block that Arthas put him in.
Right.
Lunges at Arthas and actually shatters Frostmourne.
Jesus. Okay.
And then revives everyone to finish off Arthas.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Next slide is the after-fight cinematic of the Aftermath.
Yep, this one I do know of. I've never actually fully seen it, but this one I know of.
Okay.
That puts so much more context into it now. So, hang on, let me go back real quick. So... Okay, so Bolvar was chained above the throne. So what had happened to him previously? I don't remember if you went over that.
It was the Wrathgate cinematic. He was the human that was there with the orc when the plague bombs dropped.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Because he was like that point of view.
Oh, because he was on the battlefield when the dragons were set afire. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And just as for further context, just the sheer number of undead Arthas had under his command, if just left to their own devices, would have ended the world.
Right.
That's why there always needs to be a Lich King.
Right, just because of how many there are. Okay.
Yeah. So the only people who essentially know of Bolvar being up there are basically the select few of the heroes, some of the faction leaders, those who are privy to need to know, and the Death Knights as they serve him.
Right.
As they're willing to work with the new Lich King.
Okay.
So the aftermath for Sylvana, since getting revenge on Arthas was kind of her whole deal.
Right.
So after seeing Arthas had died, and not even to her own hands, ended up deciding to take her own life.
Okay.
Upon hitting the ground, she ended up seeing essentially hell. But then she got revived by the Valkyr, these Valkyrie-looking angel girls that essentially are able to bring her back to life, who work for Arthas.
Right.
And essentially, with their help, she's able to create new Forsaken. Because without Arthas doing that, they can't reproduce.
Okay.
So the Forsaken, as a race, is already at a limited time.
Right.
So she ends up taking the Valkyr in order to actually, one, keep herself alive, because she doesn't want to go to hell.
Right.
And two, make more Forsaken so that her people don't just die out. Regardless of who it damns, as apparently becoming a Forsaken automatically gets you a free ticket to hell.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. The aftermath.
Operation Nomergon happens, where the Alliance team up to help free Nomergon from the Trogs, clean up the dirty bomb that got whatevered,
Right.
and set up their satellite laser cannon that they now have.
Because of course they have a giant laser cannon. Continue.
Yeah, but for some reason it's set up to only shoot at Nomergon or nearby Nomergon.
Okay.
Yeah, we just stopped asking questions about these super weapons that the gnomes and goblins have, but then never fucking use later.
Right.
The trolls retake the Echoing Islands and are able to retake their homeland.
That's good.
Yep.
That's a positive thing, at least.
The Ruby Dragons have basically a scuffle with the Black Dragons, causing a bunch of their eggs to turn into Twilight Dragon eggs.
Oh.
Which turns out to be void-corrupted dragons.
Oh!
Deathwing decided to start making for whatever reason.
Right, because Deathwing will Deathwing.
Yep. But the Ruby Dragons don't know what happened, and this becomes relevant later. It just becomes this whole plot line.
Okay.
And the Emerald Nightmare, which is a thing now.
Yeah.
Because it is basically like this corrupting force within the Emerald Dream to turn it into the most corrupt, like the most terrifying version of the world it can make.
Right.
Start seeping into the real world.
Oh, goody.
This is a book. And each chapter is like what each notable character ends up seeing within this nightmare.
Oh. Oh, joy.
Are you ready to see what their nightmares are?
I don't know if I am, because knowing Blizzard will either be nightmare fuel or it'll be fucking stupid. I'm ready.
Okay. So, Varian. He ends up seeing... Stormwind's... A bunch of the guards end up being caught in, like, a walking sleep. Essentially sleepwalking around. But Varian, rather than being caught in that, sees all of them as, like, undead zombie versions of his son and dead wife coming for his life.
Oh, okay.
Tarande and Brol, which Brol is an orc shaman that actually... Right. Oh, wait, no, he's a druid, I think. He's a druid or shaman, I don't remember. But he was also with Varian during the Gladiator thing and actually is friends with the Alliance.
Right.
Yeah, Trent, let's see. When does those who died in their sleep come up and attack them? So essentially zombies.
Right.
But even killing the zombies just caused them to come back time and time again.
Right.
Then there's Sylvanas' version.
Oh, goody.
She just wakes up and she's just alive again. No longer the Banshee Queen. And there's Valimathras. And there she is in the middle of Undercity, where everyone just despises the living. Where everyone turns on her. And then here comes Arthas.
Oh!
Kills her and brings her back to life. And threatens to starts doing it. By killing her and bring her back to life again and again until she is fully obedient.
Okay.
Yeah. The next panel is even more of them.
Oh no.
Thrall's version, where he is back in Durnhole Keep, where he is forced to watch his friend die. And on top of that, another version where he's the one that ends up killing her himself.
Oh, Jesus.
And Jaina's version of what if she was the one who helped Arthas at Stratholme, and she eventually became the Lich Queen instead, as Arthas would have ended up dying.
Gods. Alright, the Emerald Nightmare stopped.
Now, if you're into the Green Dragons, find out what's going on. It turns out Xavius is doing it. As he's now working
Xavius
with the
again?
Old Gods.
Oh, wait, he was the motherfucker turned into a tree.
Yep. He's back, baby.
How?
Old Gods.
God damn it. Okay.
Yep. So then they kill Xavius. And seal him away in a little pocket dimension within a pocket dimension inside the Emerald Dream called the Rift of All.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yep, and in the midst of all of this, a group of thieves known as the Dark Riders break into Karazhan and steal a bunch of shit.
Oh, joy.
Yep. So yeah, what do you think of the Emerald Nightmare being a new thing now?
That's terrifying. Jaina as the Lich Queen would be a very interesting telling. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see how the story would change if Jaina was the one corrupted.
Yeah. And now we get to the one of the big stories that people love.
Okay.
So, Karn Bloodhoof came to meet the new war chief as Thrall steps down.
Okay.
And against everyone's advice, he ends up making Garrosh the new war chief of the Horde for his heroism during the war with the Lich King.
Right.
I'm just rereading through here because a lot of stuff ends up happening. Let's see. Garrosh gets called back, runs into a Alliance boat and threatens to blow it up, but Karn stops him.
Right.
Yep, so that happens. And Thrall ends up giving Garrosh his father's weapon, the Gore Howl,
Oh.
as like a little welcome back present, and also to become the new war chief. Thrall has really
goody.
good expectations of Garrosh.
Why do I get the feeling he's gonna fuck up a lot? Oh man. All right. Next.
Oh, this is a panel that's out of order. Shoot. Oh no, never mind. This is actually in the right spot. So, because of the Wrathgate event, tensions actually heat up after the war with the Lich King. So the
Right.
Night Elf tribes stop trading with the Horde because they actually do have like semi-friendly trade relations just for supplies, and Orgrimmar is actually really close to the Night Elves' home capital, essentially. It would be the equivalent of being like 2 states away.
Right.
So, due to them actually stopping trade with the Horde, and a famine being caused due to this, Garrosh ends up attacking the Night Elves in order to get supplies to actually feed his people.
Okay.
So nothing you can't really say any leader would not do.
Right.
But Karn goes to talk to the Druids to try to talk things out peacefully before the attack happens.
Right.
Garrosh shows up, leaves the meeting, as saying that the Wrathgate was a tragedy to the Alliance, and being butthurt about it isn't fair. It was a problem for us to get over it. And he's not
Valid.
wrong.
He's not wrong.
Which then he goes to his father's grave to basically like think on himself.
Right.
And he gets confronted by Magatha Grimtotem, who he starts arguing with at first because the Grimtotems did not join the Horde.
Okay.
And they're a Tauren race, or Tauren tribe.
Okay.
Following panel. The elements start raging for whatever reason when Thrall stepped down as war chief, so he goes on a shaman's pilgrimage to find out what this carnage is and put a stop to it. He actually did consider Karn to be the war chief instead of Garrosh at first, but decided not to because he wasn't an orc.
Right.
And his second option was actually Saurfan Jr., but he's dead.
Right.
So he did Garrosh. And he actually provided Garrosh with who to talk to if he needs advice on political matters. Being Karn, Vol'jin, and Eitrig.
Karn and Vol'jin I know. Eitrig I'm not familiar with.
He's essentially like an elder orc warrior.
Okay.
He's pretty much there to be like the wise old man advice of a warrior.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Garrosh actually tried to deny being the war chief.
Okay.
Because he saw himself as a warrior and should be out there fighting, not on a throne telling people what to do.
Right.
Which Thrall says, that's a good mentality to have. Take it.
Interesting.
Yeah. How do you like how this story is going so far?
It's going good. I like it so far.
How's Garrosh growing on you?
He seems reckless. I'm not quite assured of his Giga Chat status yet, but I definitely see the makings of it.
Alright. Next panel. After the elements damage Orgrimmar, Garrosh ends up rebuilding the city using fire in order to make it less flammable, and Karn actually agrees with them.
Okay.
Let's see. And during with the meeting of the Druids, it ends up going badly, as Hamul, one of Karn's friends, ends up being killed by an unknown third party.
Oh, Christ.
And they believe it's Garrosh's doing. So Karn confronts Garrosh of the attack. Garrosh says if he did do it, he would have announced it proudly.
I could see that.
Which Karn doesn't believe Garrosh, and ends up challenging him to mock Garrosh for the title of War Chief.
Oh, okay.
It escalates that quickly.
Damn. Alright, and this is just a rehashing of what Makara is. I think you went over it in the last slide.
Yeah.
Just kind of briefly go over it this time, just to refresh people.
One-on-one combat to the death. One weapon is only allowed, no armor.
Okay.
Yeah. Both weapons can be blessed by a shaman of their choosing if both parties agree.
And the participant has to have at least one witness.
Yes.
Okay.
And all of Orgrimmar ends up watching this. And they do agree on the blessing of the shaman.
Okay.
So Magatha Grimtotem offers her blessing for Gorhal as no one else would. Everyone was against Garrosh in this fight. And the fight starts off supposedly being even, but Karn ends up getting the upper hand and just utterly beats the ever-living shit out of Garrosh.
Yeah, because he's a giant bull boy. What do you fucking want?
Yep.
He's a giant cow.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to be stronger than the orc.
And Garrosh, basically doing whatever he can to get a hit in, ends up getting a nick in on Karn. On the arm, not a major injury, so he at least got a hit in. It's not...
Right.
Next panel.
What?
Karn just shortly drops dead.
Huh?
And you can see how big that wound is on him.
Huh? What?
Everyone's reaction, including Garrosh's, is that of utter confusion and bafflement.
What the fuck?
Eitrig ends up taking Gorhal and examining it, finding that it was laced with poison. And in the chaos, Magatha ends up escaping Orgrimmar and heads to Thunder Bluff
Son of a
to
bitch.
attempt to assassinate Bane, his son, and take over Thunder Bluff herself.
Oh shit. The cows be plotting.
Yes.
Shit.
And now we go to Anduin.
And Anduin is the son of the current king,
Yep,
right?
Varian's
Okay.
son.
Yeah.
So he ends
I
up
believe-
going to Ironforge in order to train under the Bronzebeards, essentially.
Okay.
The natural disasters start happening. And he ends up becoming friends with the person who is essentially assigned to be his bodyguard.
Right.
Anduin learns about Magni never actually wanting a daughter, but only a son, because he's just old-fashioned that way. And he ends up finding out what happens with Moria. And Anduin is able to actually help him reevaluate his outlook of his daughter and everything.
Okay.
Yep. And because he's essentially just a sexist pig, the guard he was given was actually a woman who actually would be like an elite guard if she was just given her proper promotions.
Right.
Anduin, talking with Magni, ends up allowing women to basically become more prevalent in dwarf society.
Okay.
And then during one of the earthquakes, a cave-in happens and Anduin gets trapped in there.
Right.
He ends up surviving, but his guard he became friends with dies in the rubble.
Damn. That sucks.
Like, let's see. And then after the earthquake, Anduin's connection to the light becomes very prevalent. And basically following the light becomes more of his calling, as his father is not appreciative of that.
Right.
Because Varian's more of a warrior king type person, as you've probably seen.
Right.
And seeing his son become a priest is not exactly warrior-like.
Right. Wait, hold on. That's bullshit. They literally live in a place where there are fucking paladins. These bastards have fucking hammers as long as I am tall. What the fuck does he mean that a priest isn't warrior-like? Fuck that shit.
Well,
Uther kicked so much fucking ass.
Priests and paladins are two different jobs.
Yeah,
And
but
Anduin is
semantics.
more-
He could end up being a paladin.
Anduin's a very peaceful type person. He kind of follows along with his mother more than his dad.
Then his dad should just shut the fuck up. That's all I'm saying.
Like, he doesn't stop his son, he's just not happy with it. He lets his son do it.
Fuck him. Anyways.
He's still a good dad. He's just more of a keep it to himself type of person.
I get
Whenever
you.
he's upset with it, something like that. So Magni ends up gifting Anduin his weapon, the Fearbreaker, which apparently is a mace that's very strong connected to the light.
Okay.
Yep. And while getting the Fearbreaker, they just found some tablets that they got from Ulduar, which then they end up using it as a ritual to try to talk to Azeroth.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so like the actual soul of the planet. And try to find out
Okay.
what's causing the natural disasters.
Right.
The next panel, when Magni attempts the ritual.
Oh shit. Hang on. There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, Magni is petrified in crystal.
Jesus.
And it's not just like the outer layer, his entire body was crystallized.
Oh.
And with no known way of reversing this ritual, he's just pronounced dead.
Kaya's like, oops.
Yeah.
No kidding.
So a funeral for him ends up being held, and Anduin finally meets Malfurion, Tyrande, and Nobundo.
Who's Nobundo again?
He's pretty much like the shaman teacher for Draenei.
Okay.
Like, he's relevant in, like, random snippets, but never really a major player.
Right. Okay.
Yep. And after the funeral, Moira returns to Ironforge with
Oh,
the
goody.
Dark Iron Dwarves and captures it,
Oh, goody.
citing the right of lineage.
Uh-oh.
As she is Magni's only child.
She's not wrong. She's
Yep.
not right, but she's not wrong.
Yeah, so she ends up capturing it, and everyone basically closes the gates, and everyone's now just a hostage, including Anduin. And using a Hearthstone that Jaina gave him, he is able to escape.
Oh, goody.
Which Hearthstones are essentially a one-way teleport item, where it's like set to a specific location, and it only warps you to that spot, and that's it. Which, since it was Jaina, it takes him to Theramore, where Bane happened to be visiting, as he kind of doesn't have a home at the moment, as Thunder Bluff's currently under new management.
Oh, joy.
Yep. So Bane and Anduin also meet Kindi Sparkshine, Jaina's apprentice.
I'm assuming she's a gnome?
Yeah, she's a gnome.
How did I fucking know that? Oh, right. The fucking naming scheme.
Yep. So Bane and Anduin both end up talking about their troubles of being about the expectations they have to live up to due to their fathers.
Right.
Anduin ends up giving Fearbreaker to Bane, because
Right.
Fearbreaker apparently likes Bane.
Okay.
Yep. And moved by Anduin and Jaina's offer to aid, Bane ends up... Okay, I'm rereading this. Moved by Anduin, Jaina offers to aid Bane in his assistance with his current struggles.
Okay.
Yep. So Bane ends up taking a small army back to retake Thunderbluff with the help of Jaina. And Megatha, as the current leader of Thunderbluff, requests aid from Garrosh in order to defend Thunderbluff as a member of the Horde. And Garrosh returns the request with a wish of her violent death.
Yes.
Of the woman
I mean,
who
yeah,
stole
she
his
did
honor.
trick him. She did trick him, so
Yeah.
I get that.
But the majority of the public still blame Garrosh for that happening.
Jesus.
So after they retake Thunderbluff, Bane becomes the new leader of the Tauren.
Right.
And the Grim Totems go into hiding. Because after all that, they are pretty much kill on sight.
Right.
So back to Ironforge.
Okay.
So Anduin here ends up finding out that his father is attempting to retake Ironforge to rescue him. Because his dad didn't know he escaped.
Oh, goody.
And he ends up showing up with SI-7. Which is
SI-7.
essentially is like the Alliance's FBI, CIA, assassin, elite spy people.
Oh, god damn it. SI-7. God damn it, Blizzard. Okay.
What?
Oh, that's just a play on MI6.
Yeah.
The British spy organization.
Yeah. So Anduin pleads for Jaina to take him back so he can intervene. Jaina ends up creating a portal so that he can get back to Ironforge. Anduin finds his dad, who is about to execute Moria, claiming that she actually didn't do anything wrong, as she is technically the rightful ruler of Ironforge. And let's see, further arguments made to push the issue of what if she died? It would only cause
Right.
even more war between the dwarf clans.
Right.
So they end up having to seek some middle ground, and Anduin was the one
Right.
who was able to talk sense into his dad. And it should be
Right.
noted that in this fight alone, Varian only showed up with 5 members of SI-7.
Right.
And each one essentially got like a body count of 50 plus just walking in.
Jesus.
And that was before they noticed anyone was attacking Ironforge. So they end up creating the Council of the Three Hammers.
Right.
So essentially, it's now each clan that joins the alliance can join, essentially becomes a speaking member of their as like a council. Moira will
Right.
be the ruler of the Dark Iron until her son comes of age.
Right.
Mirrodin becomes the Ironforged dwarves, and Falstad represents the Wild Hammers.
Okay.
And Anduin finally starts taking his weapon training seriously in memory of that bodyguard that died protecting him from the
Right.
cave-in.
Okay.
Because he is very much a pacifist at heart.
Right. Oh, shit.
Yep, next panel. Gilneas time. We're finally coming back to here with that curse.
Yeah.
So the curse that was released was actually a druidic curse.
Right.
Which the transformation actually grants immunity from the Forsaken Curse of Undeath.
Oh, goody.
But it turns them into a feral beast consumed by bloodlust. And during this whole time since the wall's been up, they've been trying to deal with this curse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they've been unable to ask for help because any attempts to get out of the wall ended up having them being attacked by their own people. And like
Right.
any old good old werewolf curse, the scratch
Yeah.
and bite, if you survive, you become one of them.
Oh, goody.
Yep. So, and Vincent Lord Godfrey was the main reason any humans essentially survived this, as he was the main counter-offensive against the Worgen. is what they
Right.
became.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Eventually, an alchemist was able to create a potion which would actually bring their human mind back. So they would still have the body of the curse, but at least have their human sanity. And then Sylvanas decides to siege Gilneas for more land.
Oh, goody.
Yep. A lot of shit starts piling up here. Some of the feral worgen end up escaping and causing fighting with the undead. And essentially Sylvanas is just taking advantage of this attack as a reason to retaliate against them. King Gen ends up with some of the cured, ends up finding Nidals that just happen to be chilling at a temple nearby inside Gilneas lands for some reason. And
why not?
And requested aid.
Because, again, why not?
Yep. And then the Feral Worgen and the Forsaken both start attacking the temple, and the elves attempt to use the Scythe of Elune to banish the Feral Worgen into an eternal slumber within the Emerald Dream. And the leader of the Feral Worgen, R'hllor Firefang, which I'm not sure what fate you kind of expected with a last name like that when you're human, gets a hold of the scythe and is revealed to be the source of the curse and is actually a night elf.
Because why not?
Yep.
Oh.
And then a ghost of Arvel appears and kills R'hllor and Arvel saves his wife from being killed. Like, a lot of stuff just kind of goes down, which boils down to Worgen try to stop it, and they fail because Ghost.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. Next panel, the remainder of the Feral Worgen end up fleeing. Forsaken are outmatched at the temple as Night Elves actually show up to help out and push them back, but are unable to save Gilneas because they plague bombed it. Yes, they used the plague literally right after the war with the Lich King.
God damn it.
Yep. The Prince of Gilneas ends up actually being killed by Sylvanas herself, which causes Gen to actually lose his composure and show that he actually has the Worgen curse as well. And after seeing Gen transform, Godfried ends up taking his own life rather than showing loyalty to a Worgen.
Wow. Wow. What a dick.
Well, he's been fighting them for like 3 years.
Yeah, but what a dick. Fucking hell.
Yeah. As we continue, the Night Elves bring their army to assist against the Worgen. Sylvanas uses the Valkyr to raise non-cursed Gilneans to repopulate, and she did it specifically in front of Garrosh.
Oof.
To show that her people are not a limited resource. And Garrosh is disgusted by this, calling her no different than the Lich King.
Damn.
Yeah. And she defends her action that she isn't the Lich King because she serves the Horde. And he retorts by calling her a bitch.
Alright, I see the Chad part now. That's funny. Oh no, Godfrey is alive again.
Yep, she ended up bringing Godfrey back to life.
Oh goody.
Yep. Garrosh ends up leaving, which allows Sylvanas to basically do whatever, which is when she starts using the plague, that was used at the Wrathgate. She requested Garrosh's approval to use it, and he denied it. He told her never to use it and it should be destroyed, and she uses it anyways.
Oh jeez.
Godfrey, seeing an opportunity, shoots Sylvanas in the back of the head and then runs away.
I mean, fuck it, I would.
And he actually kills her.
Well, goddamn.
3 Valkyr end up having to sacrifice themselves to bring her back to life, as it's like a rising recurring cost each time she does it.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah. So it ends up being a draw because with Gilneas being covered in plague, no one can use it.
Right.
And the Gilneans end up officially joining the Alliance.
Okay.
Yep. And now, next panel. Thrall's
Oh, goody.
misadventures.
Thrall's misadventure. Oh, God.
While sailing, he got captured by SI-7 on accident. And he's being
Oh,
taken
good.
to the Alliance. And a ship that's falling apart is sailed by Trade Prince Gallywix, where he was going to sell goblins who paid for safety into slavery.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
Because their
no.
home island actually had a volcano erupt and causing basically nowhere to be safe. And he had the only boat able to escape because he blew all them up and made them pay to get on the boat. And then he turned around and decided to trade them into slavery. He's that much of a scumbag.
Jesus.
And the goblins that he ended up capturing end up escaping thanks to Thrall escaping SI-7, and they beat up Trade Prince Gallywix a little bit. The goblins end up joining the Horde, and Gallywix becomes the goblin leader for some reason after all this shit.
Why?
We don't know. We literally
God.
don't know.
Damn it.
Nobody likes Trade Prince Gallywix. He's the guy that exists just to hate him.
Fuck him.
And they end up tainting Orgrimmar's water supply with oil from Trade Prince Gallywix building his palace right outside.
I don't like that. I don't like that, Kaya. She says, spoiler, Gallywix gets worse.
Did you expect him to get better?
I expected him to die.
Yeah. So, following panel.
By that definition, he would get better.
Yeah. So with that, the water issues, Garrosh goes to Thunderbluff to request/demand water from the area to keep his people alive, because Thunderbluff doesn't have a drought/famine going on.
Right.
And Bane refuses at first, but eventually relents when Garrosh says that shit's really fucked up in Orgrimmar and we actually need this food to survive. So the Taurans are uneasy about this and start to leave the Horde over Bane allowing him to be a pushover as they saw it. And Quilboar started attacking the water supplies of the Tauren. So Garrosh goes to Thunderbluff after hearing the attacks from just random hearsay because Bane didn't want to get him involved.
Right.
Bane says he wants to resolve this peacefully. Garrosh, being pissed that innocent civilians died, he's going to deal with it himself by killing the Quilboar.
Oh, goody. I love it.
Yep. So he goes with 15 elite warriors to take out the Quilboars, and hundreds of them surround them, essentially killing all but Garrosh. And he only survived because Bane shows up with his elite guard to save him.
Ooh.
And Bane ended up just asking some druids to make a new river for the Quilboar so they'd leave the Tauren's water supply alone.
Ooh.
And embarrassed, Garrosh just kind of leaves for Orgrimmar without going back to Thunderbluff, as he's pretty embarrassed over this whole situation.
Like a bitch.
Yep.
Oof.
But you can't really blame him for taking the action he did.
No, I can't, but he got what he deserved.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yep. So, Garrosh wants to expand the Horde and create a new city in Ashenvale in order, as trade with the Alliance for food, it keeps getting refused.
Right.
So they end up going into a skirmish war with the Night Elves for territory for food.
Right.
And
Okay.
it went well, and Garrosh actually wounded Tyrande.
Oh, shit.
Yep. And he almost kills her if the rest of the Alliance didn't show up with King Varian and Gen.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Varian and Garrosh ended up fighting each other for once. And after killing several warriors who tried to assist on both sides, they ended up getting pushed back from each other, and both of them, and the Horde ends up retreating.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. And more issues to come. Vol'jin confronts Garrosh about the increased issues as Garrosh became less trustful of those around him he didn't know because of what Magatha did.
Right.
And Vol'jin threatens to kill Garrosh because he just saw Garrosh as some bloodthirsty brute.
Right.
and then leaves Orgrimmar, and all the trolls went with him.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And
So
remember,
there go all the healers.
and also add in the fact that Vol'jin was one of the first people Thrall told him to go to for advice, and
Right.
he just threatened to kill him.
Jesus.
Nearly unpromptedly.
Right.
And then Garrosh found out about the plague being used in Gilneas. Against his word,
Oh,
only furthering
boy.
straining his trust with others.
Oh, boy.
And then the mana bomb incident. Where Garrosh found out about Overlord Crumgar's use of bombs on civilian populations in Stone Talon Mountains. Went there and personally executed him himself for this dishonor. As Cromgar, out of his paranoia, bombed the civilians, which was a place where women and children were specifically sent for safety, thinking that druids were shapeshifting into those women and children to be spies.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah. So seeing that happen, Thrall, he ends up killing Cromgar.
Oh. Accidentally skipped ahead too much.
Yeah.
Okay, I personally executes him. Okay, next slide.
Yep, next slide. So Anduin ends up going to taking up training within the light with Prophet Valen of the Draenei.
Right.
And Valen's too preoccupied with his own focus on stopping the Burning Legion to notice what's going on in Azeroth.
Oh, joy.
Basically, like, taking in the big picture too much without the smaller problems getting in the way mentality when they're getting way more in the way. Riots start breaking down into Exodar, the crass spaceship that the Draenei basically uses as their capital. Due to Valen not helping out. Anduin's finally able to talk through to Valen, and Valen ends up realizing, shit, we need to take care of stuff here, otherwise we can't even take care of the later stuff.
Right.
And then Valen actually gets a vision of Anduin being some big hero in gleaming armor as a rainbow parade of dragons flying through the sky to face off against the Burning Legion and an all-consuming darkness.
Oh, goody.
Yep. And then Cataclysm starts.